Thanks to all of you tuning in, especially to our subscribers. You can continue watching unsubscribed, or you can hit that subscribe button now. It's entirely free and you won't miss an episode. Today I'm going to show you how to make our apple pecan slice. It's the perfect tea time treat. I'm going to start by making the topping, and in my saucepan I have some brown sugar, some coconut oil, a pinch of salt, and into that I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon and 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract. And I'm going to set that over a medium heat for about 3 to 4 minutes. Let it melt and bubble away, and it's going to be perfect. And then I'm going to add in my toasted pecans and my very finely sliced apple. You want it really nice and fine for this. I've also added in 2 tablespoons of unsweetened oat milk. That's bubbling away nicely there. I'm now going to add in my toasted pecans. That pinch of salt in there is just going to be really delicious with the pecans. I'm keeping some whole and I've crumbled some others, just like that. It smells absolutely delicious. I'm going to fold in my apples gently. And I'm going to turn off the heat. I've oiled an 8-inch baking tin, and I'm just going to pour my mixture into my tin and push it down so it's even on the bottom. I'm going to put that to one side and I'm going to get on with making the dough. I've melted my remaining coconut oil, some corn oil and 180 ml of unsweetened oat milk, and I've got it to be nice and warm with a teaspoon of vanilla bean extract. I want that warmth because the yeast likes cosy conditions, and that's what's going to activate it and make it bubbly and delicious. In my bowl I've got my plain flour and my caster sugar, and I'm going to add 7 grams of dried quick-acting yeast, and then slowly I'm going to add in my warm milk mixture. I'll put 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt right at the end. I'm going to mix this on a medium speed. For about a minute you'll have an incredibly sticky dough, and that's just what we want. Now with a tablespoon I'm going to put my dough on top of my filling, and like I said, it's very sticky, but when you leave it to rise it's going to double in size and you'll see you have a wonderful cake. But right now it really doesn't look like much, so don't worry about that. So that's done. I'm going to cover it with some tea towels, and I want to leave it somewhere really nice and warm away from drafts so that it can rise, and you'll see it will have doubled in size about an hour to an hour and a half depending on the temperature of your room. So it's been just over an hour, and as you can see the dough's risen beautifully. So when I gently press down it's lovely and light and aerated. And I've preheated my oven to 180 degrees, and I'm going to bake it for about 25 minutes, checking it after about 10. I'll turn it 180 degrees for a really nice even bake. The surface of your cake will look quite uneven at this point, but don't worry at all because it's going to be the base of the cake. So I'm just going to bake it right now and I'll show you what magic is about to happen. It's a lovely golden brown on top, and I'm just going to gently release it from the sides. Comes away very easily. You want to do this while it's still hot. And now, as elegantly as I can manage, I'm going to just turn it upside down onto my board, like so. And there we are, steaming hot. If you have any bits left in the tin, just scrape them out and put them on top. Don't want to lose any of that delicious sticky mixture. I'm going to let that cool completely, and I'm going to get on with making my icing. To make my icing, I'm very simply going to take the seeds of this vanilla pod, and I'm going to whisk in about 3 tablespoons of warmed unsweetened oat milk or any unsweetened plant milk. Go slowly with this because you want to have a really nice thick icing that's not going to run all over the cake. So just 1 tablespoon at a time. Easier to add more liquid. Beautiful vanilla icing, lovely and thick. My cake is lovely and cool, and now we can ice it. It's worth saying that this is a cake best enjoyed on the day you make it. If you have some leftovers, put it in an airtight container in the fridge and heat it up the next day in baking paper and some foil for about 15 minutes until really warm in an oven at about 180 degrees Celsius. So I've got my lovely icing here, and with a spoon I'm just going to drizzle this lovely icing on top. Might go on the table as well, but that's all right. And you just want it to sort of set on top, like so. I'm going to cut a slice. It smells beautiful. You can really smell the cinnamon. Oh, I can't resist. This yeasted dough is light and pillowy, sort of a milky sponge. I've got that lovely sticky glaze on top, pecans that are crunchy, and that hint of apple. It's absolutely delicious. I think you're going to love making it. Your gorgeous apple pecan slice. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of What on Earth to Eat Now. I do hope that you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you don't want to miss an episode, don't forget to hit that bell icon. I'll see you again next week for another episode of What on Earth to Eat Now.